What's going on YouTube? Earth Power here with CVH.
What's up, everybody?
And we have a special guest star with us today. You know him, you love him. It's Garabon of the Garabon
Yo,
Games.
yes, how's it going, everyone? I'm the special guest today.
What's
Nice to
going
have you
on? So
here.
yeah, we are
Yeah, this is
hopping.
exciting. I'm coming in as like a special commentator today. I have no idea what's happening in this match. This is gonna be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. I can't wait to see it through your eyes. So the match we have for you today is Light Water Fire Rush versus 2 Civ Hydrooze Water Dark. So
Yeah.
and we're gonna hop right into it. So
Let's do it.
yeah, I'm interested for this match. We talked about it a little bit in the profile a couple of days ago, but this Hydrooze is kind of your all-encompassing deck, right? It's kind of got good matchups across the board. It doesn't really have
Yeah.
weak matchups across the board. So up against a deck that you said your brother played a lot of, Ben,
Yeah.
which is why you
So
wanted to hop on.
the reason I wanted to hop into this match is because if you count up like the amount of playtime I had back in the day in Duel Masters, probably like at least 30, maybe 40% of my playtime was against Light Water Fire Rush because that's all my brother played. And so every time like I was getting ready for a tournament, I always had to make sure that my deck was like well suited to play against Rush because I knew my brother was going to be there and he was always playing this like ridiculous version of Light Water Fire Rush.
Quick shout out if you want to see our ridiculous version of Light Water Fire Rush or Hydrooze, the deck profiles will be linked in the description below. Check them out.
Yes, go click on them.
Both of y'all
Maybe
pointing
am I
down
pointing
like they
down, left? Which way am I pointing? I don't
they
know.
can't see either of you right now. The cams are only there for the beginning, so we can just do whatever
That's
we
Oh,
fair.
okay.
want.
Never mind. I'm pointing
Yeah.
for nothing then.
That's fair. We're invisible while the match is going. I
We'll be
always
back
forget.
at the end, don't worry.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, I'm kind of excited on this light water fire rush. Christian and I started to brew this when, again, we were getting into the IDC decks that the overseas guys were playing. This was one of those rush decks that was just unique, right? We're so
Yeah.
used to fire water here, fire water, fire nature, fire light. Those are the kind of the old standbys. So adding a third civ to that was foreign to us. Um,
Yes. Yeah.
and
That's
until
like
we,
I think
yeah,
that's the biggest drawback of the deck is that it's sometimes you can get hands that the civs don't really work out on. Like you want to get your one drops, but they're less consistent when you have three civs versus two civs.
Yeah, we focused on the consistency this time around. You know, naming your 3 water cards are Aqua Hocus, Lucky Ball, Spiral Gate. Your fire cards are Deadly Fighter Breakclaw, whatever 2 drop we chose. I can't remember which one it was. And then or no, Volcanic Arrows, right?
Yeah, Volcanic Arrows.
And then the 2 speed attackers is 3 ofs. And then the light section was Tolk, Soul Gala, and Farzi to play back with those spells. And you know, Spencer gets the good hand outright,
Yeah.
just volcanic arrows into deadly fighter, which is exactly what he wants to see here.
Yeah, there's 2 colons in there
Hydra,
too, by the way. If we're just
there
listing the
are
whole deck. Yeah, there's
okay,
somewhere.
yeah, there are 2 colons.
And
Okay,
Spiral, yeah, he says Spiral Gate, it's shield triggers.
Oh, that's
I'm
it.
here.
You don't want to see the two Aqua Surfers go to man.
yeah, Christian gives the thumbs down there, misses his 2 drop, which is just very not good.
No two drop, and then like your best shield triggers are just in your opening hand.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
That's not exactly the matchup where you want to brick like that, but here we are, so maybe I'll recover.
Yeah.
Yeah, Soul Gal is interesting here because it doesn't really, its effect doesn't matter. I don't think in this matchup. There are no blockers that Hydrooze is playing that Soul Gala would want the power to get over, and even if he had it, the spells that Spencer would use here wouldn't matter either. So
Yeah. I mean, you
it's
could cast your own Volcanic Arrows or Spiral Gate and then go over something in theory, but
but that's what I'm saying is just that you know the power doesn't matter here. If he has
yeah,
Spiral Gate or Volcanic Arrows, he's clearing the creature regardless.
exactly. And then you're just hitting a shield anyways.
Right. Soul Gal is just a body that can swing at this point. And that's all that matters. Spencer unlocks all 3 mana and has just a perfect progression. Lightwater
Yeah.
Fire is looking very strong right now.
The third
That's,
Aqua Surfer, that's what I was hoping for. I was like, if 2 are in the wrong spot, maybe 1 will be in the right place. And here we go. And I have to decide, do I save a shield, or do I just bounce Hulkus and then attack over the 2 things? And this was weeks ago, so I actually do not remember the line I go.
Oh, that's an interesting thing.
I think the play here, and maybe you know, you talk about micro misplays here. Maybe bouncing the Hulkus is correct just to clear the creature. Like,
Well, it could
at
have
that
been.
point,
That's the better defensive line, but maybe what I'm thinking is if I play another creature this turn, I can hit over 1 and then start breaking shields and make Spencer do the trading for me with Surfer, which could be nice.
Yeah,
Also
yeah,
good.
because you do have to go in at some point, like, otherwise Rush is just gonna get through you.
Right, but
Because
that's what I'm
with it,
saying.
you don't really have blockers, right? Yeah, you just
Yeah,
have removal and stuff.
yeah, there's no blockers here. So is it? I mean, without you having a creature to race the Hulkus there, I just
Well, my
or
hope is that he has to
to
trade.
mount and deal with.
If he
Ah,
plays if he plays two creatures or I don't know, has a Pyrofighter in hand, it's looking rough. But it was also looking rough before. So
Yeah.
I could be staring down a clear board, have no Surfer, no Hulkus, and have two shields right now. But then at the same
right.
in the same line, if
But
he plays two creatures
that's
against that, I'm still pretty looking not
that's
great.
that's what I'm saying though. It's still a 2-turn kill for you next turn either way, even if you clear 2 creatures. So wouldn't you rather him have a clear board and less cards in hand, and then 2-turn him the following turn?
But if I
But
didn't have, well,
it's
I mean,
it's
it's
tough to
interesting.
say because you would be down 1 shield, so that's a conundrum. But
Yeah, and there
okay,
is the 2 creatures, like we said.
yeah, focus and deadly, almost a given, seeing as how we
Yeah.
bounced it back to his hand, Christian.
Well, I mean, yeah, but that means he's not playing a speed attacker. So I'm pretty much
Yeah,
like, if he doesn't have one of the six, I can pretty reasonably expect to set up a 2-turn here
yeah,
and
for
deal
sure.
with Hulkus for free.
For sure. Yeah, you're right. You're in the same tight spot regardless. It really just comes down to what does he have. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, you have to give him options to get there, I think. Because his deck does play enough defensive triggers to warrant having to break shields.
Yeah, and the light water fire rush deck also has colons, so you do kind of risk hitting the colon and the
Yeah.
shields if you break here.
Oh yeah, only two of them though, thankfully, in this
Yeah.
version.
Windmill Mutant getting to show off a little bit. Spencer trying to get his hand slightly off camera.
He
Like
did
every time
not
I
get a speed
discard, it's
attacker.
a yeah, sad.
Didn't give it to him though. Gave him a Farzi, which is good. And
Oh, I
he,
see the
yeah,
pyro fighter.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
there.
Spencer will show his hand, Swan. But so the other side of that now is, Hydrooze is playing Spiral Gate, and I mean, not anymore Aqua Surfers, unfortunately. This list is running the 3 Surfer, or no? Is this list
Yeah,
It's
it's playing 4.
the
this list
Whatever
is
Surfer
it's
playing
playing
3
4?
gate.
You're right. You're right. I'm remembering decks of old and Lightwater
for.
Alzonius. Zonius is playing the 3. Spencer
It is
trying to set
Spiral
him up
Gate.
so that he doesn't die on the crackback, which is a good call.
I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Ooh, that's the
Focus.
wrong
Oh,
one.
Locomotiver. Yeah, I saw the card get flipped over real fast. I thought it was gonna be another surfer.
We can't all be Carl.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely not. Lightwater Fire takes game 1. And
Yeah, I mean, that was a pretty close game. That could have gone either way. Just like one shield different, one the speed attacker different.
Yeah,
yeah,
you
it
know,
was it was tight.
whiffing on the twos is not super likely as Hydrooze because there are 10 in the deck, but I did get a Surfer
Right.
from Shields, which is, definitely on the high end of what you can expect. So it kind of balanced out there, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think though that if you had hit your 2 with a Propeller Mutant or an Emerald, though, this game could have been in Hydrooze's favor there.
Oh yeah, if
So
you're on I think I was on the play, right? So if you're on the play with a 2 and you get a Surfer and Shields, you're looking pretty good against Rush, honestly.
Yeah, I think so.
yeah, it's upsetting that yeah, just upsetting. You talk about not minor misplays. I'm wondering where bouncing that Hulkus versus not, because Spencer still had to break 2 shields when he broke them with the creatures that he dumped out that turn later. I'm wondering if you had bounced the Hulkus instead and cleared board, if that had made if that would have made a difference.
Yeah,
Tough to say
Hulkus
with
is a
too many.
much better bounce, much higher tempo. I think the deciding factor there is if he could play 2 creatures the other way, because obviously giving him Deadly Fighter back pretty much guarantees he can play 2 things. But if his hand
Right,
was just a bunch
true.
of 3s, then maybe I get super lucky, and he can
or
only
even
play one.
I mean 3s and 2s. Yeah, he would need the 2 2s at that point.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
what he has. So.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing to think about too. Like what could possibly be played on the next turn then.
And if you haven't been around this channel long enough, Christian and I lose sleep over some of these plays.
Oh, I mean, yeah. It's when you get it recorded like this, you can always just like think about all these what ifs.
That is what's the one I'm still losing sleep over? The deck laws not swinging for game with Waterfire Rush in season 1. I still makes me itch.
Some of them are coming for the title of worst misplay in this top 16. They're not actually that bad, but we critique ourselves harder than anyone.
Yeah, we're always our own worst judges, or there's a saying like that. I don't think I got it right. Okay, anyways, back to the match. We do have the turn one drop once again with Tolk the Oracle this time.
If Christian can hit his 2-drop this time, hey,
All right, Melnia, that's pretty good. Also, notably, has more power than Tolk the Oracle.
Yeah, it
yeah, that's
does.
sad. Tolk's such a sad little card when it just has to sit there.
Spencer
Yeah.
mentioned that this is like the fastest rush deck because it gets to play all the best ones, but it does have like a power problem. Everything trades over everything in the deck
Yeah.
consistently.
It's weird that he says gets to play the best ones when Firelight also plays the same exact one.
I didn't
And
tell. I didn't have the heart to tell him.
Even an additional one, yeah.
Didn't want to
But
tell
with
him.
water, you get to like draw more and like put more things on the board then later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the alluring part of this deck was that Lucky Ball and Holkus just add a dimension to Rush that much like Water Fire, turns it from that rush deck to what a lot of the guys overseas are referring to as aggro, what Christian and I call
Yeah.
tempo. It just adds that level and staying power where, after turn 4, you're not necessarily dead if you're not winning.
But here's an
Yep.
interesting thought.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
don't run out of gas so easily.
setting up a 2-turn is one thing, but surprised neither of you called me out on this. Melnia maybe could have turned sideways there.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I think it definitely could have.
The only reason I could see you not doing that, and the only reason why I think it's probably a fine play not to swing there, is that if Farsi decides it wants to bounce and Spencer wants to set up more tempo-y play, he could then Spiral Gate, drop a 1-drop on Seamoot and Dormel, trade with the Melnia, break a
True.
shield, and have Spiral Gate back in his hand to contend with whatever you play on 4.
Yep, I would have lost the
True.
game immediately for that, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's the only reason I could see not turning Melnia sideways is that it's just weak at that point. You'd want it. I think it has more staying power if you just leave it untapped there and check it for another turn. You about to not play mana?
Yeah, I was about to say, like, did I just like miss a mana play? Because
I think I might not play
very
mana.
surprised.
I have no idea
I-
what my hand is, to be fair. It could be like double gate or something. I don't know.
Ooh, that is a very good shield right there.
That's
The 2 of Colon.
That's
Light
painful.
Light Water Fire's just flexing on Hydrooze right now. This is not looking good for you, friend.
No one knows what those cards are because the light was on.
Tolk and Pyro Fighter?
Yeah, that's a Tolkien
Glare is
Pyro.
tough. Yeah, Tolkien Pyro.
We do fix the glare
Jeez.
for other matches. Don't worry, everybody.
Yeah, CVH and I didn't realize
we go,
that
okay.
his kitchen light was there. It goes, yeah, we fixed it.
That's when we fixed it.
Yeah, absolutely. Kitchen light was awful. All right, so everything can attack here except for Tolk. And basically, if he takes all your shields without any crackback, you're going to lose.
Yeah, you can't really clear all that. And the Pyro Fighter in hand, too.
Spencer was right to not even trade with Melnia because I'm at 4 mana this turn, so I can't play a bait and Hydrooze. And I only have 3 things anyway, and he has 4 shields, so I'm so far from winning the game.
Well, those emeralds probably would have helped a lot earlier.
Yeah.
But that's going to do it.
Like
Light Fire Rush.
Taken.
It's a good deck.
Rush. Channeling your brother from a different year.
That's
There it is.
So again, another upset, and I say another upset. Yeah, this is another upset because Foul lost in round 1, and now Lightwater Fire Rush beating Hydrooze, a top 4 contender from season 1 in the top 16.
Yeah, I mean, Light Fire Rush. It's like Light Water Fire Rush. Excuse me, is that kind of deck that can just like, if it draws good, I feel like it can just take down anything so fast, and you always like, you can't always be ready for it.
Yeah,
since we have you here, do you think it's the best rush deck? Do you think it competes with Fire Nature?
No, not at all. But it's fun.
Does it compete with Fire Water? Is it getting there?
I think it's a little bit below Fire Water, but it definitely has some elements that the other decks don't have that can give it some better matchups. Like having the Colons, I think is really cool, and like, I mean, having Spiral Gate and Volcanic Arrows is pretty nice.
especially to cycle him off of Farsi, which is a
Yeah.
tough game, especially if your brother stopped playing after. I think you were talking about it set 7 or 8 whenever he kind of dropped off.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
kind of stopped playing around set 7 or 8, but he still like kept going to just the tournaments, and then
nice.
he got to the point where he put Tolk the Oracle in the deck, and then that was
There you
that
go.
pretty much.
There you go.
Once you've done that,
Hey,
you've peaked, right? There's nothing left in Duel Masters. That's the best feeling. Is turn 1 Tulk. So
hey,
Exactly.
I took Tulk
Somewhat
to
off
Crown.
topic, but in OCG, there's like 5 different remakes of Tolk the Oracle of just like various other one cost 5,000 for one cost 500 light creatures, and there's a deck that plays just like 12 copies of Tolk the Oracle.
God,
Hey, I'm
sounds
for it.
incredible.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
So final question for our guest. It's so Light Water Fire is now up against Water Fire Nature Tempo. Who are you giving the
Oh,
edge to in top 8?
that's you know
So,
what? I gotta stick to my guns, and I'm gonna give it to Light Water Fire Rush.
all right, you heard it here first, guys.
Yeah.
Erebon voting
I'm
for
gonna call
Light
it.
Water Fire Rush in top 4.
Well,
I'm
what do you
going for
Michael,
think?
Light Water Fire Rush winning the whole turn. No, it's not gonna win the whole
Oh,
tournament. If it did, that'd be
okay.
very impressive. But
You should have stuck to your guns because
I
if you
think it can take
predicted that,
down. I think it can take down some other tempo.
yeah. It's interesting that Lightwater Fire Rush has gotten dealt two slightly slower tempo decks, which seems like the matchups it wants to be getting. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
kind of with you. I think it has
absolutely.
a favored chance in top 8.
Yeah, for sure. And like you said, I think even in the Waterfire Nature, I think it's going to get to flex what Farsi and Soul Gala can do a little bit more than it was able to necessarily in this game. I
right.
think that's gonna matter a little bit. So looking forward to it. Well, Ben, thank you so much for hopping on and joining us for this
Yeah, thank you for
this
having me. It was
match.
a lot of fun. I'm
Can't
glad I
wait
was
to
able to get in here for this.
Yeah, can't wait. Hopefully we'll have you again for top 8. You know, knock on something. We'll see a few more times here in the coming weeks. But guys, stay tuned. Leave a like. Let us know what you think below of this match. What misplays you might have thought you saw. I
Yeah,
think this match was played pretty well. But otherwise, how you guys think it's going to go now that the first half of the season 2 bracket is complete? Our top, or at least that half of the bracket is set. Is Foul versus Phantomac, or not Foul versus Phantomac, excuse me. Christian, catch me. Come
Yeah.
on, I'm following you.
Sorry. Well, it's Water Fire Rush versus Phantomac, Carl.
Yeah, and then
okay.
Water Fire Nature versus Light Water Fire Rush. Guys, thanks so much. Ben, thank you for joining us.
Yeah,
And
thank
until
you
next
once
time,
again for
guys,
having me.
we'll see you. Beach.
Peace.